Yeah, well, that's the next thing. That's the next thing I want to that I want to get to. That's actually why I have this little diagram up there. So I'm going to do that now. So now, I'm going to offer you a proposition, and it's like a core. Well, I'll get to you right away. It's a core proposition. We tend to think that our knowledge structures are made out of facts, and that facts are about the material world. And I would say that's not very true. And it's partly because who the hell cares about facts? Most of the time they just lie there and they're not good for anything. So, but more importantly, it can't be right. It can't be right for a variety of reasons. First of all, the scientific endeavor is only about, let's say, 500 years old, formally. Now, you can stretch it back. Maybe you can stretch it back to the Greeks, you know, if you want to look at precursors. But it's still, who cares? It's 2,000 years or it's 3,000 years, whatever. It's like compared to 400 million years, it's nothing. It's like dust on a cliff. It's nothing. Now, we were doing perfectly well without the theory beforehand, and so do animals. And so, you know, you can decide for yourself what that indicates. But it does indicate that you can exist in a manner that fulfills the Darwinian requirements perfectly fine without ever formalizing a theory about the nature of material reality. So fine. Now, the next thing is, your nervous system isn't built to view the world through a cognitive framework that's composed of empirical facts. Obviously, because we've only been doing that for a few hundred years. Chimps aren't doing that, and you're mostly chimp, you know. I mean, I don't know what the similarity is. It's like 99.9 at the genetic level. It's really, really high. So it's not like the dissimilarities are unimportant, but, you know, there's a lot of you that's chimp, there's a lot of you that's mammal. There's a good chunk of you that's like a crustacean. So, you know, obviously none of those entities are predicating their action in the world or their knowledge of the world on material theories. Okay, so then the question might be, well, what are the nature of your theories of the world? And that's where you get into the distinction between motivational significance and value and material reality. And I would say that the cognitive structures that use, they're not just cognitive, it's actually your personality. Because the personality is far more than a cognitive structure. Your personality is how you act, so that's how you act out ideas, right? Actually how you move your body through time and space. It's how you perceive, because you don't perceive everything, you perceive a very limited subset of things, and there are processes that are associated with your personality that determine what that subset is. It determines how you value things, it determines how you respond to them emotionally, and then it sets the boundaries for the contents of your cognitive knowledge. So I would think of that as a personality. And what's the personality up to? Well, it's trying to orient itself in the world. It's trying to figure out how to act in the world. And I would say that's our fundamental problem. Our fundamental problem isn't what are things made of, although I'm not saying that's not a problem, it's a problem. But it's not the fundamental problem. The fundamental problem is what to do about what things are made of. It's like where to go. Now, you know, that's an existentialist claim in some sense. It's like, well, what's the meaning of your life? What's the purpose of your life? You know, and we shouldn't be using materialist theories to address such questions, but we do. And it's cost us a lot. So